In the far reaches of our solar system, 2.8 billion miles from the sun, there is a crime scene. We tend to think of planets and moons like a happy family. The Earth and its moon, they're a classic duo. Jupiter and its dozens of followers, a bustling city. But Neptune? Neptune is different. Neptune is a kidnapper. Meet Triton. It's Neptune's largest moon. On the surface, it's beautiful. It's covered in frozen nitrogen, pink snow, and towering geysers of black dust. It's the coldest known object in the solar system, with temperatures hitting a breezy minus 391 degrees Fahrenheit. But Triton has a secret, a dark mathematical secret that tells us it doesn't belong here. You see, every major moon in our solar system orbits its planet in the same direction the planet rotates. It's the law of the neighborhood. It's polite. It keeps the traffic flowing. But Triton is traveling the wrong way. This is called a retrograde orbit, and in physics, this is basically the equivalent of Triton walking into a high-end gala, slapping the host, and sitting in the wrong chair. It's impossible for a moon to form this way, which means Triton wasn't born around Neptune. Millions of years ago, Triton was a dwarf planet, much like Pluto. It lived in the Kuiper Belt, minding its own business, orbiting the sun in peace. It was a king of its own icy domain, until it got too close to the blue giant. Neptune's gravity didn't just nudge Triton, it snatched it. It reached out across millions of miles, grabbed this world by the throat, and hauled it into a permanent backwards cage. But the kidnapping was just the beginning. What Neptune did next? Well, that's where things get actually terrifying. Imagine you're a parent with 6 well-behaved children. Suddenly, a 600-pound gorilla is thrown through your living room window. That was Triton. When Neptune captured Triton, the newcomer's massive gravity completely wrecked Neptune's original family of moons. They were pulled out of their orbits, they collided with each other. Some were flung out into the dark void of interstellar space, never to be seen again. Others were ground into dust, forming the thin, dark rings we see around Neptune today. Neptune sacrificed its entire original family just to keep this one stolen prize. It's not a natural system, it's a graveyard. Triton is the sole survivor of a cosmic massacre, forced to dance a backwards waltz around its captor for the rest of eternity. And the dance is getting violent. When Neptune grabbed Triton, it didn't just put it in a nice circular orbit and say, "Welcome to the family." It was a violent gravitational tug of war. Because Triton was moving the wrong way, Neptune's gravity started acting like a set of cosmic brakes. This created something called tidal heating. Imagine taking a metal paperclip and bending it back and forth over and over. Eventually, the metal gets hot. Now imagine doing that to an entire planet. Neptune's gravity literally kneaded Triton like dough. It pulled on the core, stretched the crust, and turned the interior of the moon into a molten, pressurized mess. For millions of years, Triton wasn't a moon, it was a spherical pressure cooker. Because of that internal heat, Triton is one of the few moons in the solar system that is geologically active, but don't expect Old Faithful. On Triton, it's so cold that nitrogen, the stuff you're breathing right now, freezes solid. But deep underground, the heat from Neptune's gravitational kneading melts that nitrogen into a liquid, pressure builds, and then, boom. Liquid nitrogen and dark organic dust scream out of the crust at supersonic speeds. It's called cryovolcanism. It's a volcano, but instead of fiery lava that melts your face, it's a freezing slurry that turns you into a human popsicle before you can even say, "Should have gone to Hawaii instead." It's a beautiful, terrifying display of a moon trying to breathe while its parent planet is slowly crushing the life out of it. And that brings us to the real tragedy. Neptune isn't just holding Triton captive, it's eating it. Remember how I said Triton was going the wrong way? In physics, that has a price. Because of that retrograde orbit, Triton is losing energy. It's being dragged down. Every single time Triton completes a lap, it gets a little bit closer to Neptune's clouds. It's not a fast process. It's a slow-motion suicide that will take about 3.6 billion years. But in cosmic terms, that's a weekend. Triton is a dead moon walking. It's trapped in a spiral that only ends one way. And when it finally hits the Roche limit, the point where Neptune's gravity becomes stronger than the gravity holding Triton together, the moon won't just crash, it will explode.
In about 3.6 billion years, the kidnapping ends in a messy divorce. When Triton crosses the Roche limit, Neptune's gravitational pull on the front of the moon will be significantly stronger than the pull on the back. Triton won't just crash into the ocean clouds, it will be shredded. Imagine a world 1,600 miles wide being torn apart like a wet loaf of bread. Billions of tons of ice, nitrogen, and rock will shatter into 1 trillion pieces. In a matter of days, the stolen moon will vanish. In its place, Neptune will gain something it's always wanted, a ring system that puts Saturn to shame. A shimmering, glorious halo made of the pulverized bones of its favorite victim. Future civilizations, if there are any left to look through a telescope, will see Neptune and marvel at its beauty. They'll point and say, "Look at those magnificent rings, how lucky that planet is." They won't know they're looking at a crime scene. They won't know those rings are actually the powdered bones of a world that once had its own mountains, its own geysers, and its own destiny before Neptune decided it wanted a souvenir. It's easy to feel bad for Triton, to assign it the role of the tragic hero and Neptune the villain. But the universe doesn't have a moral compass. It doesn't care about theft or kidnapping. It only cares about mass, velocity, and the cold, hard math of gravity. We live in a solar system that is constantly eating itself. Mars is slowly killing its moon Phobos. Saturn's rings are raining down into its atmosphere. Everything is temporary. Everything is in a state of falling. Triton is just a reminder that even the most massive objects in the sky are subject to the same chaotic, uncaring laws as we are. We're all just drifting toward a collision we can't avoid. On the bright side, none of us will be around to see it happen. So you can still sleep soundly tonight knowing that while a moon is being slowly digested billions of miles away, your biggest problem is probably just a slow Wi-Fi connection. When we look at Neptune, we see a peaceful blue giant. But now you know the truth. Behind that calm exterior is a gravitational predator, and behind Triton's frozen beauty is a world that has been screaming in silence for 1 billion years. Next time you look at the night sky, remember, the stars aren't just twinkling. They're watching a very long, very slow, and very terrifying show. And the ending? It's going to be spectacular. See you at the crash.